Welcome back to Factorio. My name is Nilaus and we are here with our next episode of our glorious little Let's Play. Thank you very much for following along and thank you for your patience. It is summertime and that means I spent also a bit of time on vacation and I hope you do as well. That's why the release schedule will be a little bit erratic, but here we are. And what I've done since the last episode is I have completed this wall all around here. So now, for all intents and purposes, we never need to deal with anything outside of this base as well. So we are just done. There's still some good patches in here. There's a giant iron patch, a good coal patch, a uranium patch, another uranium patch, a little stone patch here. There was also like another stone patch here, and then good oil down here. So those will be set up, but I don't want to do that on camera because that's just like, we have done that. Oh, it's actually another one. The only thing that's not a lot of is copper, but we I'll set this up off camera because we've now have set up these patches here. So what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to continue where we left off with setting something up that really didn't work. Was it a hack? Was it a clever solution? I don't know, but it's doable. Also, another thing that these red circuits were not really working very well because half of the inserters were red inserters were turned the wrong way. So a lot of you have noticed it, and thank you for reminding me. I have updated the blueprint so that if you take the new blueprint, it works, or if you just flip those, then it also works. Some of them. Right. So what is it we need? We need to get to space because we want to get space science. That's really what we want here. So that means we need rocket silos. In order to get rocket silos, we obviously need to get the three things here: the processing unit, we got it, low density structure, and rocket fuel. So those are the things we want to make now. And that will be up here. So we need to make the first thing. And the first thing would be low density structures. Then we want the rocket fuel. And then we want also making space platform. That will be here. And up here we'll have the rocket silos. And that should be fine. So let's have a look at how we want to build this. We want to make it like really dense. And I can't use any better assemblers because you don't have those research yet. And so we're gonna have to do this, and they need it to be here. So that's gonna be like the base premise here. We can't do a lot of things in terms of in terms of productivity or better. So it's just gonna be like a big build that takes a full belt capacity of copper. So let's get the copper in here and say that goes down there. Then we're pretty much as always just taking this one outbound, and then we're gonna get the plastic and steel in on this side. So that's gonna be like a good start here. Then let's build this as a sort of a unit. The unit will be, you need these two inbound, and you need those two inbound. Then I need out, 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 and out. That seems good. Yeah, because they're opposite each other. Now we need to figure out... Oh, this is kind of one of those funny things. Is this even possible? Could I do... Oh, I can do this. I love this idea. This is what we sort of came up with for that. That gets the power poles in here. Great. Then the only thing we're missing is we need for this one to grab from the copper belt, and from down one below to grab from the top belt. So I'm going to do this, and that allows these to get from the top belt. And then I'm going to do something here. And that allows you to get from... Isn't it actually nicer if I do it? So these are... Oh, no, they're not. Because that won't work. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. It's colored. It's yeah, I like this. I like this. This is a good build. I kind of think that this would be better. I don't know why. It just kind of means that they are now opposite each other. Yeah, let's do it this way. And that will be then our module. And it'll be here. So it's going to be... Each of these are taking how much? They are taking 1 copper. So we can get 20 of these, and 30 of these that we can get that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 12. 16, 20, 24, 28. Alright, cool. So that's kind of all there is to it. This one will be taking... Is it 28? Yeah, 28. So it'll take 28 copper inbound. So at this point, and then we just need somewhere to grab from here. And that goes into a box for low density structures. And we constrain it. Maybe I just want one of these just to not grab all of them immediately. And I just set a constraint for this. How much do I want? Low density structures. We want kind of get that for various things. Like, yeah, we'll do this one. Maybe that's a little bit too much. And now it's just hooking it up. And it's ready to hook up. We're just going to hook it up here. The iron and plastic, steel and plastic, and the copper coming in. I've also cleaned up the belts here, so that now we only have the belts on the bus that we are actually going to need, and sort of cutting them off earlier when they sort of no longer have a need. So sort of not bringing more belts up here than we absolutely need, which I think is nice, so we can kind of see that the bus is getting thinner. Right, so this is this part. You can say that you could put productivity modules in, but I don't really think that's going to make much of a difference. Each of these silly productivity modules only give 4 each, so it gives like 8 productivity here. It's something, but I don't know. You can do that if you want. I don't really feel like it. So the next one is going to be a little bit more nightmarish, and that's going to be a rocket fuel. And then I have come up with a city build for this that I like, but it's also like really complicated. Where are they? There they are. And so the idea here is that I need to have one of these getting the solid fuel, can produce 1 solid fuel per second. And one of these is consuming half a solid fuel per second. So if I just had like that, then everything should be fine. And then I can take these in here. There. And let's double this one. Like so. And then I need to make a pattern. So I'm designing this pattern here. Now the trick or the challenge of this is that I need to get to have one... I need to have an outbound as well. So that's going to be an outbound, which will go here. And I also need another outbound, which will be here. And that will go these. Oops. Oh, I just reversed one of these. There. And that will be here. So that's the premise of it. Now I want to get oil inbound, and I only want to get it in one place. So that means I need to get it in here. And it has to go up. And it has to go over. And it has to go down and then onwards. That's modular, right? No, it's not actually. Then let's rotate these so they get them from below. And then I need to get this also down here. I'm going to do that for both. Not really super needed, is it? Yeah, well it is, because I need to do that. So this is my input, which will come from here. Like that. And then it'll go into these two and onwards. It'll then also jump down here and get into this area. Then that begs the question, can we then power it? And we can. If we do it like this, can we light it? Yes, we can. There we go. So that's really nice, in my opinion. There we go. That's going to be a module for this, and it'll be at perfect ratio. And how much do we need? Well, this is using 10 oil, and that's the only thing we need. We need 10, and then this is 0.0. So each, this is 10 plus 10 plus half plus a half plus a half plus, that's 22. This is using 22 light oil. So this is 110. And you know what? We'll just make it like this, because that's a neat little build. Sweet. Oh, and I get lost in here. Great. These two are now coming out, and they can just be merged in on a single belt and go back on the bus. There. Those are the 3 things we need to have on this bus, and I will also need a little box here, like so, which is not gonna work very well. There. Yes. And this will be rocket fuel there. 500. That's too much. 200. It only stacks to 220, so we'll do that. And this one will be here. Which also means that now we can also change our train stations. If we want to, instead of having this coal line, then switch it over to having requested... yeah, when we get the requested chest, of course. When we get it. We are going to get to space soon. Soon, soon, soon. And that one comes in here. And that gets the heavy oil, the light oil in. Light oil, and they should all be working. Looking good. Like a very simple build, right? And that's also going up. And that goes up here, because that's where we need to now build it into this, the rockets. The rockets, yeah. But there's also one more thing that we can do. Can we actually build that yet? Yes, we can do the space platform. Space platforms are really annoying. It takes like a ton of steel. So that's going to be a little bit problematic. We're going to be trying again to make something here. And I want to make it like in a little module, because this... It's just copper and steel, but they are very... Yeah, they're building really slowly. And I can do this. That seems like a good place to start. And I don't know, we'll build that here, so he gets there. Then I would like this to be longer. If I had it like this, there could be one belt out, but I think I'm just going to do this, which is kind of silly. Like this. I think that's going to be working. And that means the outbound now is going to be a little bit silly, because they're going to be here. And then just kind of with little stubs to go all the way into the bus. Or, there you go. That seems weird, right? Now, what are we missing? This one is missing some steel inbound, and this is missing. So if I could get some belt in here, and subsequently also here, that would be... Oh, no. It would have to be like this. Then I can take here. Because I need to also have space for that to get in. Yes. And lights as well. Very important. And that's basically a module. So this will need to get copper and steel in. And that's why we do that. So that means copper and steel comes in on this belt. And I would also need to get something like this. Sort that. And how much... Oh. Maybe it gets the power from up here. I don't like this power grid thing here. That's better, I think. Cool. Now this is going to be that one. And this will also get... And how much? I don't know. 2,000, I guess? I think that's a good number. I have no idea. And this will then be built. How big are we going to build it? And it'll be like this. So that it doesn't... this is probably going to be way too big to build it like this. But I'm still going to be building it. Because why not? Why not indeed? There. So it'll just be chugging along and eating all of our copper and steel. And this will be the copper and steel build. Which will now no longer be... It'll be a dedicated belt here. Yep. And we get the steel in. Oh, that would do something a little bit silly, isn't it? Isn't this like really, really silly? Yes, jumping here when there is nothing to jump over, but we'll do it. There. And that one. Those were the last two things off the bus. And then the only thing I need is this one actually going downwards. Oh, let's actually just hook it up. This one going down, down, and in here. And then merging in to that one. Because over here, we need it into the platform here. That's the only thing. Now, it would be kind of nice to say that could then be filtering out to only get this one moving forward. The other side, this one. So I don't fill up this part of the belt with something that isn't needed. Yeah, I don't know. Trivial change, but it is a thing. So that means we now have everything we want. This one will be needed for building our future spaceships. There is one thing I need to check, and that is, do we have anything here? Yes, we do have some solar panels, higher quality solar panels. The other thing that I want to do is, we can't do this one yet, but we can certainly put some quality modules in, like some pathetic minor quality modules into that one, because that's something I really want that to be upgraded. And also, actually, no, that's not it. Not in there, but in these two. Because if these can also come out with quality, that would be nice. Like quality modules are amazing. And there is a problem with that one. Good. And that one. That doesn't need to be there. Cool. Right, so the next thing we want to do is actually just making a space, making the rocket silos. Should be pretty straightforward to make that, because, well, we have some rocket silos and here. And the thing is, if I build them, if I look at how close they can be made, there, that's as close as they can be made. We're not going to make it that big to start with. We are actually going to make, and then I'm going to get 2 belts inbound. Ooh, here's another problem. Why is it not actually getting built? I would have imagined that I would get at least one of those already being built. That's not great. Why not? What is your concern? Outputs. Yes, these are not connected. Alright, someone needs to fix that blueprint as well. There were also some inserters missing here and here. Now that they start getting, you can see that they start picking up some of this. How much do we need? We need 60 of that to make a space platform starter pack, which is what we want. This one is also chucking in here. It needs the concrete. When it gets the concrete, it'll make one of those. This one will always try to make 2, which will be fine. And we have one here. And let's go up and see that, yes, we built these 2. Now, I'm going to have to put the bad modules in, because that's the only kind of modules we have. And yeah, then I also really want to get a beacon, which I can pretend that this is a beacon. That's a pretty shitty beacon. So I'll need to go over this, and then I'm going to need to get some power lines. I think that's the middle, and that will just be like an inbound and inbound and inbound and inbound. Something like this. Yep. And let's see these over here. And then get some lights as well. Right, so this is very simple. I will set these to automatic. And then I just need to get stuff inbound here. I don't want this to be on 2 lanes. This one, I very much want it to be a mixed lane. There we go. And that should get these going here as, yeah, close. Then I would also want to do another one. Yes. And they are coming in. But no more than that. Then that should be started. But we actually do want to get... We want to get these going here. That one, and that one. However, I don't want this to go in just now, because it's going to be wasting a lot of resources going out into these ones here, because it won't be able to launch that fast anyway. Now it's time to build our first spaceship. Isn't that amazing? We're going to make this a new one. It's going to be getting a indicator here. It's going to be called, obviously it's going to be space science. It's going to be very minimalistic. It's not going to be the absolute smallest thing that anyone has ever seen anyone do, but this is it's very compact, and I really like this. So I think this is how we're going to be building this. I am going to build it. I want to build it with my or where is it? Here. Let's go to map view. Like, I have some of these. There, some of these. That's nice, right? But I don't think I want to build it with these, because maybe you don't have it. So I'm going to build it with normal, and then I'm going to show you what you can do to make it once you get a little bit further up. Okay, did we get it? No, but I think something launched. This one must have launched. Yes, because it's working again. There we go. Space platform is there. That should mean that if we look down here, a lot of this now activated and should start working. And if it's not starting to work, then that's because something is not working. Okay, so there's definitely a little thing that I forgot, and that is getting low density structures downwards. That is here. Let's see, that will be that one. Here. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, I guess it has to go into this. And that will go into, See, I did this thing here because I don't really need this to be on both sides. So I'm going to actually do this. So now it's going to be forced in on this side moving forward. There. And that means here and there. Which means that that's going to be low density structures coming in. And as that comes in, we should be starting to see we get some of this. And so this and this one here as well. And this is the one. I think I actually want more than 20. Because I want to have a higher chance of rolling something good here, and even because 20 and I can build some extra ones of these. There, I'll build 50 of them, just so I have enough. Great, that's working. Then let's go to space, to our space platform. We are in space, and look at this new planet here in the background. Looks nice. A little bit of oil painting. So we are going to make a design up here. And it will be making space signs. No. Oh, right. It can't make space signs yet because we need an entity build this. So we need to build this. So, okay. Let's see. We're going to get these as normal ones. And then if we might get a better one up here if we get it. I want this to be just on the corner and just on. Remember, this spaceship does not need to be flying anywhere. So we don't need thrust or anything. It just needs to sit here and catch some of these little idle ones that come by. And then I'm going to use the space here as, hopefully as efficient as possible. That'll be one space. The idea for this design is that everything will be shoved back into this little box here, and then use that box for all of the crafting and stuff. So that's the essence of it, and that's kind of where we go. Let's see. Yeah, these are too far down. That's gonna be up here. Whoops. That space bomb. Here's another little trick. You go over here, you pin it, then it goes on that side, but that annoying pin is annoying. So you remove the always visible from here, and then when we're down on the ground, we can just jump up here to take a look at this. Oops, and back. Yeah. And I'm also going to have one in the middle. 1, 2. And now we get the space signs. So these ones can now be flagged to space signs. There. And that means we now also need crushers. Space signs. What is the most important thing we want to get space signs? That's actually the logistics chest. So let's get this one going first. Obviously can't build it yet, but we'll queue it up. Then we need here, here, and here, because what is this one needing? It needs ice, it needs iron, and it needs carbon. How do we get the different things? Well, we get the ice, we get that over here. We get the ice asteroid going in, and then there has a chance of just getting a 30% chance. Woo! 30% chance of returning something. Huh, that's a lot. Then over here, we'll do the carbon, which will be 10 carbon from 1 carbon asteroid, and then a big chance of returning something. That one here is the iron ore. So if we get iron ore, then that's not quite it, because we then also need to make here to make that iron ore into here. So with this all here, we're kind of missing some power. We don't need a lot of power. So I'm going to be building like this, that in corners here, there, and then 2 up here. That should be enough if I use these wherever possible. So no productivity, just like that. So this is the basic idea of the spaceship. It looks like this. This is how it is. Now we need to actually control it, which is easier said than done. So basically, make it easy, I am going to do like that. That's basic for all of them. Like, why do I take 6 of these? Here. This is producing, let's see, this is, can I see what it's producing? 0.25. So 0.25, that's 0.5, 1.0, and 1.5. So it produces 1.5 signs per minute with this, which is exactly the same as the other signs back on Novice. So that's why I'm doing this. Then I'm going to take things in here, 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 and here. And then I'm going to need to get in here, but that will be hardcode. Not that it really matters, but just to make it clean, like that. And then I am going to get, you are also going to get an outbound here. And then I'm going to get, yeah, I don't need to filter these because they'll sort of work by themselves. Great. So that's all of that. But now how do I prevent it? What will happen is exactly as this. It's just start scrapping. I want these to be set with a circuit network. So I do need to have a circuit network controlling it. The way I'm going to do this is that I am going to make... I'm going to get something there. And I'm going to get one of... here. Right? That's not this one. It's the arithmetic one. Obviously. Here. So in this one, I'm going to set all the things I want to have here. And that means I'll need to get a little... And this will monitor the storage box. So I'll basically be saying... I'm going to take what is in the box here. And then compare it to what I want. Exactly like we do on Navis. And then that will give an output here. That output will control everything. So let's start by doing that. This one will then say, okay, what is it we want? We are going to start by saying we want a minimum amount of these. Because they don't stack at all, so I don't really want a lot of them because they'll fill up the inventory incredibly quick. So let's start by doing this. Then we need the intermediates. And the intermediates are... let's start with that one. 50 of that. That's one stack. No more than that. One stack of iron. One stack of carbon. One stack of ice. And... oops. And then one stack of... there. Yes. Then we also need science. Because that's kind of... otherwise it'll fill up with science. And I'm going to take 4,000. That's the maximum I can kind of see that we can have in here. So that will now give us indication of all the things we want. And it's already starting to process here. Let's see. That can also go in here and here and here. It's working a little bit. Great. These are not coming in. Why are they not? They are not coming in because there is not enough to fill a request on the planet. How many do we need? Wait, how many do we have? None. Why are you not working? It's because the low density structure doesn't get all the way down here. How many do we need? Yeah, 20. So it's munching on this. Okay, but you should not get anything. The LDS is coming in, but it's also just coming in very slowly. You're making it. Yeah, these are chugging along. These ones are chugging along. They're just not getting... ah, yeah, so, okay. This is down the line, way less priority. But eventually, as this stops working, we'll get more that flows in here. And we should be getting this. Now, let's start avoiding disaster. I'm going to take out of this. And then I'm going to be highlighting all the things that I want to block. I want to block that one. I want to block this. No. Oops. I want to block some inserters, but I also want to block this because that will actually set the recipe for what we get. And that should be blocked. And the ones that go in here, not that one. That'll go. All the things that I want to control with this signal here. Here. These two. This one. That one. This one. That one. And then leading it back. Like that. Right. And I don't know if it actually can control this, but then I need to say you are going to be constrained only when... it's actually going to be constrained by... this one is only going to be enabled when it's greater than 0. Greater than 0, and I need to do calculations here. This one will take what we want. That's going to be on the red wire. Each item on the red wire minus each item on the green wire. Yes, and that's going to output each. What does that mean? This means how much more we're missing. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. And that means the output signal, the positive output signals are the things we still want. Good. So this one is actually correct. If it says, yeah, as long as this is greater than 1, then I'm good. And this will be constrained by the output here, greater than 0. And now that says don't do that because I have enough carbon. Oh yeah, we have enough carbon. Great. This one will then be controlled by when we have enough of that. I'll just copy it to the other ones so it gets done. There. And then I'm going to set all of these up as set filter. Now it says no filter. That's interesting. Have I misplaced this? What? No? No, it's fine. It's fine. Just feels weird with those little yellow arrows in. What do we have here? We have way too much iron. Stop the iron production. That one. Stop if iron greater than 0. Why is that? Oh, it's because it goes through these annoying things and they're not there. Okay, so how many do we have? We have 2 on the planet and we need 1 more to even be able to send it up here. You are not getting anything because you're missing literally 1 low density structure. Why is the low density structure dead? That's because plastic is dead. Okay, so a little bit of investigation here. Oh, I know why. Because some idiot didn't bother to hook up the big locations. Oops. So now the oil production is online down here with speed modules and more speed modules. Almost the last speed modules are coming in here. Great. So we got a very nice supply here and this one is filling up. We also have 2 trains now, 1 for each. One is unloading, so that's nice. Also building some more solar panels because why not? Keep it busy, and these are all full. So everything is nice, and except that we're not getting enough plastic inbound, but it's catching up now. So plastic and steel will of course be starving because they need to be going into the low density structure, and that uses like quite a lot. Up here, we've now reached the last ones, and I will actually send these back down because they are kind of expensive for us to have at this point, and I don't want them up here. So We'll kind of send these back when we don't need them. Also, they take up inventory space, and I don't really want that. We have all we need here, I think. And we can now see that this one is, if we look at, this is where we can see what we have. So we can have inside the big box, we have a little bit of asteroids, a little bit of the metallic asteroids, but none of the other ones. So we should be able to request all. Why are we not requesting carbonic? Oh, because we have the carbonic. Yeah, we have 5 carbonic, and that's all we need. This one could be set to stack size, but since these don't stack, then it doesn't really matter. But I would want to prevent them from going in. So that means we're now sort of balancing the asteroid collection based on us having 5 of each of the chunks. We are balancing the conversion of asteroids into intermediates like carbon and iron ore and ice based on... They're going to be constrained here. Well, they're not actually. Let's see. That one. That will be constrained by ice. There we go. So that one still says we need 50 ice. And let's see. This one is constrained by carbonic. So we have plenty of carbon in here. So we're going to leave it like that. Then we are going to, let's say, have the logistics system. It needs 500. We got a little bit of this. So why is something working? This one's working. Why is this not working? That's the ice. Around Novice, getting ice asteroids, they are the rarest ones, so that will always be the ones that's starving. So basically, this one just sits here, builds up to 4,000. We'll set up some science. I'm going to be unlocking the science, and the way we're going to do that is by going down here. This is now being made, and I will then, right now, we're going to make it more advanced later on. Those will go... can I not... Why can I not just click the man down to that one? Do I have to be nearby? I guess I have to be nearby to actually get that done. Also, you can see the ammo is still flowing out on the circular belts, but at some point it'll saturate, and that'll be nice, but it'll take a while before it saturates. Here, I'm going to take all these and... Trash unrequested. There we go. That's what I wanted. And then the stuff we want to request here is this one, and I just want to request, like, let's say 4,000. There we go. And then that comes in. then we need to get this out on some belts, some inserters here. And we're going to have how many inserters? Yes. There. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different researches, different science in. And I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus the other 6 here. So that's the 12 in total. And we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, so 12. Yeah. So we have potential to get all of them, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually start with, like, this will be 1. This will be another one. Oops. And that will go in here. So we'll have 2 down there, and we'll have... that goes up here. I actually do think I want one of them coming from up here. That one. Or maybe even 2. Yeah. Let's see. And definitely... why am I missing something? Ah, right. We're not going to get all of these in here. We'll just do this. That goes up, and... I know that we can actually do this different now, but it's still... this is still fine. So, let's go here. One of these is going to come from the top and down. That just kind of feels better. And which one? Probably this. Oops. There. And that means I'm going to say one of these is going to be space science. And the other one will be... it's going to be a long way off, but... it'll be volcano science. Then I will be getting clever science. There. And then finally the awfulness that is the agricultural science. By the time we get to Aquilo, we will not be using this kind of thing anymore. There. So that goes out. Goes in. And should hopefully start working on the logistics system. And now we just wait for that one to complete, and then we can get the yellow and purple signs going with the requested chests. The logistics system is almost completed, and we can see the belt here is thinning out, so that's kind of a good combination. We can also just make some of these, so we get a little bit... I don't actually think that's where I want it. I think I want it like on the back here. Yeah, like this. And we got the logistics system. So what does we now not want? Now we really want to get the other signs going. So it's now a combination of, do I want effect transmission? And then I go back to some of these ones, like the productivity. Oh yeah, it might actually be more important. Productivity, and then speed modules, and then go, yeah, speed modules, and then go something else that is purple sign, this signs here, or maybe even better to get some yellow signs going. But there are like 2 things here that are super important, and that's this one. And then we can get another space science. Oh, quality modules? I don't know. And then let's get the military, because that gets us to the power armor. So let's get that one. So we kind of alternate a little bit here, and then get that one. So that will get somewhere. So now we have to look at things that now activated. These ones have now activated. And this one is now here. You can see that there are 7 being picked up, and they are going to be taken immediately down to these locations, where we will then set up the requests for this, so we can get all of these working. And you can also say when we get productivity modules, we can also hurry up and increase the productivity on this one. Interesting how it doesn't... oh, it is coming in. And we're getting the first bits of things in here into our logistics network is activated, and it's being brought in here. And yes, it's way too much I'm bringing in here. And the idea is that this will just sort of trickle along, and then I'll be making one of these when I can, and I'll be making one of the yellow ones when I can, and sort of over time we'll just get this done in a casual manner, because the red, green, and blue are used for pretty much everything. The military, of course, only for the military ones, but then the yellow and the red ones are generally not used for the same things. So one will be working, the other one will stockpiling. And then also the space science as well. If we look at these things, we can actually see that red, green, and blue are always used, but then it's either yellow or white or purple. So we can alternate between the three of them, and it should be fine. In here, we can also see that it's still starving for asteroid, for oxide, the ice ones. There's just nothing I can do about it. Well, there's one little thing I could do about it. That would just be trying to get some higher quality, because you can kind of see this one. Is it getting inside the area? Oh no, this one is, and getting grabbed. And that one will just barely get out. So if this one had been better quality, we would have snatched that one. And then, so we are kind of losing a little bit by having by only having normal quality. But I want to build it with normal quality, because then, yeah, then we can get this done, right? These are now chugging along. They're going to go in here. They're going to be filling up. The effect transmissions, we get beacons soon, and we also get here now up in this location. We are now seeing that this has activated. The one thing that isn't activated though, which I can't believe I'm forgetting these things, is that. So definitely take a new version of this blueprint, because that's definitely needed. There. That's kind of important. This one is going to be the same, except it'll be this one and that one. Yeah, so a lot of things were not really ready with this blueprint, but they hopefully are better now. Whoops, that one. Good. And these are constrained by that input. Right, so we have now done all the things we actually want to do on Navis, and then you sort of think that the next natural step would be getting flying to volcanoes, but that's not actually what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we are going to, in the next episode, get some uranium, probably this uranium, and so we get all the uranium processing done, because we're going to need it at some point, and I just want to get it here. The primary reason why I want to get uranium is because of well, not actually this one, but it's the where are you? Here, it's that one, the nuclear backpack. It's essential. When we get to volcanoes, I really want to have like lots of robots, lots of legs, and to get there. So I want to get uranium before going to volcanoes. Also, the ship that we're going to build for volcanoes will have a lot of stuff loaded, so that's going to take some time to load. So we can basically just set up the ship, then set up uranium, then come back and then get those things. So we set up in the next episode, we'll be getting ready for volcanoes by getting the spaceship to get us to volcanoes, and by getting uranium so we can get the Power Mach 2 with a good nuclear backpack in it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please note that there are some blueprints that are updated as of this episode. The oil blueprint, there was a mismatch here. That one is updated. So for patron supporters, you can just snatch the new blueprints. They will be updated. The red circuits with the misplaced inserter locations, that's also updated. The space hub build is also updated, because there were like way too many things missing. And then of course the new blueprints for the LDS, the rocket fuel, and the space platform, as well as the uranium, as the rocket silos. I should probably also update this one as well, so that's there. So tons of updated blueprints for you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode when we get ready to leave Navis basically for good. So thank you for watching. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.